Oh, yeah, we're almost ready. We sure have a lot of stuff to talk about tonight, all right. Wait till you hear what I've got to say. Give me 2 minutes. I'm still trying to figure everything out. Still trying to figure out if I got sound. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Echo, echo, echo. Bueller, Bueller, Bueller. We're live. Nice background music. Nice background music. How's everybody this fine Friday evening at 6 p.m. here in the Philippines? Coming to you live from Dan and Minnie's basement, located in the heart of Bye-Bye City, Leyte in the Philippines. Good evening, RD. How are you? Rodel Jean-God, Anna Mae Reyes in the house. How are you? How are you? Thanks for sharing me out. Larissa is here. Moelma. Madeline Reyes. How are you this evening? Letty Me. Charmaine. Don't squeeze the Charmaine. I don't know why. That's so funny to me. RD Flock. I must have missed someone. You know, Conan Girl. Sweet and sassy, spicy. Oh man, I tell you, what an exciting evening I have planned. Alien Cruise Official is here. Alien Cruise, welcome in, welcome in. 14 million people in the house so far. We're going to be giving away some GCASH in our weekly giveaway. I hope you, and you win. But there's only going to be 3 prizes. So I doubt that all of you win. Only 3 of you will have a chance. And then we're going to be stuffing the pig pretty soon. Oh. I know I got a strange angle to the dangle today. You know, that's because I'm trying to figure out a way to show you this new contraption that we'll be using today in order to draw winners. See? So here's the bingo chingadera. I don't know if you can see it okay, but it's got a scooper thing on it that after you mix the balls up, this little scooper thing comes around, it swings around and it grabs a ball, and then it drops the ball in the next round down here into this slot. Let me see if I can show it to you. See, right here. And that would be the winning number for that round. So that's what we're going to be doing. It's a new fangled thing that we're going to try. I don't like it so far. It's too complicated for me. It's mechanical, you know. I should be able to figure out how to make it work. I just don't know if I can make it work for the camera without having a second camera. And a camera switch is very expensive, I found out. I went shopping. I thought it was a simple A-B switch where I just get to move between 2 cameras or 3 cameras if I want to. And it's some complicated device that costs way too much money. And so we can't use it, you know. So I'm going to have to figure out a way to do this, right, to show you, you know, how we're going to be mixing them up and how this thing pulls the ball into this scooper right here. But anyway, you guys we all trust each other here. Nobody's going to cheat. But today, write this down. Write this down. Nicole is here. Hi, Nicole. Thanks for sharing me out. Really appreciate it. Sure. I just don't know why I like saying that so much. I'm glad you enjoy it because I probably could get in big trouble, you know. Abby G's here. Abby G, how you be? All the way from Quezon City. Minnie Snow's here. Minnie Snow, what do you know? Watching the ads. Yeah, I got them popping up on my cell phone. So let me talk, before we stuff the pig, let me just talk about one thing, right? Something's been on my mind. Something always is that's bugging me. Now, hey, Perry Shaylee is here. How are you? Perry Shaylee. Welcome in. So, let's see. I have that one too. Oh, you do? Do you know how the thing's supposed to work? Can you come over and do this for us? Maybe we need Minnie to play the part of Vanna White or something, you know? We play background music and then she's like, da 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 da. We could have exciting background music. So anyway, I got something in my ear. You know how mosquitoes and stuff, they occasionally fly in your ear. You got to fish them out. I think that's what happened. I hear a buzzing sound in my ear. Oh, maybe that's my headphone. No, I'm not wearing a headphone today. I want to talk about razor blades. This caught my. I've been meaning to talk about razor blades for a long time. Let me tell you what. Crystal's adventure is here. It's always an exciting adventure when Crystal's around. Yay! So I'm excited, aren't you? So, for example, razor blades. I'm bringing this up because I have recently bought name brand razor blades. Now, I've been fighting this battle ever since we got here, and that is it. You'll have these brand name razor blades that supposedly they're imported from the United States and Germany and around the world, and you pay big money for them, and you got to go into the in the pharmacy in order to get these things. You got to go into the rich people store, in order to pick these things up, because they're the only people that stock them. And then you go in there, you spend good money. I mean, good money for these razor blades, and you take them home, and the first time you try and use one, right? Nothing happens. And so I'm starting to think, Menge, I'm starting to think that they're knockoffs. I'm starting to think that they're coming from China or some other place, right? That's what I'm starting to think, because they don't work. They don't work worth a damn. And now, if you are one of the ladies that appreciates a really sharp blade for your comfort and enjoyment, then you probably know exactly what I'm talking about here. Why even the brand name blades do not work, I have no idea. But it's so frustrating for me that I am now importing. I'm going to import blades myself from the USA, blades that I know and love and I trust, so that I don't have to put up with this anymore. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of going into the store, paying good money, and getting a knockoff razor blade. They're not, they look exactly like the genuine article. When I go up there and I ask them, are you sure this is the genuine article made from fine stainless steel imported from the USA? And they'll say, yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're not allowed to misrepresent product. And then I take it home, I open the package, and I'm telling you, some very, very close calls with messing around with the razor blades here. In order for them to work right, they have to be sharp. They have to be, they have to work as advertised. And they just simply haven't been working. Now, I probably shouldn't even be talking about this in a country where pretty much everybody is hairless here. Did that come out right? I'm not sure. But anyway, perhaps I'm out of line here. I do apologize if I've offended anyone. But in a couple of weeks, they say delivery date is August 7th. I'll be expecting a package from Amazon. Maria Garcia is here. Gracia is here. I'm sorry. I always misread your name and don't say it right. I apologize. Looks like Maria Gracia, a fine name. So anyway, that's my beef of the day. That's my beef of the day. No, it's not. I have others. Yes, but wait, there's more. But before we get into it, I'm going to stuff the pig. Now, Piggy is getting kind of heavy. The mic isn't working too well. I don't know if you can hear that. We're up to about a 5-pound pig now, right? And so, in order to get enough dough in there, we're going to have to so we make a nice lechon baboy, we're going to have to get at least 10 or 15 pounds worth of money in there, right? And so then and only then we will be having a contest to give this money away 2 weeks before Christmas. And the winner will be the proud owner of this pig and all the cash that comes inside of it. But you have to guess how much money is inside the pig, and you have to be close in order to win. You have to be the closest guesser in order to win, I guess. So today we're going to stuff the pig. I think I'm going to start off with the coin. All right, so we're going to start putting coin in. Yeah, all the instructions will come later about how we're going to be running this contest this year. Anyway, coin. I don't know if you can see it or not, but I'm putting coin in right now in the piggy. I got some more over here. stuffing this pig good today. Remember, this is going to be a guessing contest. Nobody is going to get this exactly right. All right, so I'm putting some more coin in. All right. Oh, wait. I have one more. I got one more to put in there. And now the bills. The bills are going in. I bet you can't. I don't have a very good, clear camera view. You probably can't even see how much money is going in the piggy right now. But I'm going to stuff this pig with these bills right now. And they're going to be, and that's all he's going to be fasting until the next giveaway live stream. The piggy will have to fast. But anyway, I'm stuffing it right in here. All right, so that's it. That's the stuffing the piggy part of the program. So I hope you enjoyed that. I'm sending him out of the way because I got way too much junk on my desk. The desk is getting smaller and smaller, and Dan's getting larger and larger. All right, next, the house. Now, some of you, Simply Mamita is here. Manny O is here. How are you, Manny O? So, about the house video. Well, you know, that anytime you do something about the house and whether you can own land in the Philippines and such things, you're always going to get some kind of interesting mail back. How are you doing, Simply Mamita? So it's not so simple to be a mamita. I don't think so. Letty Me, you know what I'm talking about. There's always going to be a hater or two in the group who and they're boring because they want to talk about the same thing. Oh yeah, you can't own property in the Philippines. It belongs to your wife. And when you divorce, when she leaves you and kicks your butt out of town, you're going to lose all your money. Mark my words, it's going to happen to you. Now, I've been listening to this for 20 years. That's how long my Minnie and I have been married. And yeah, I'm not going to deny it. I'm a very annoying person to have to live with. She's probably going to kick me out any day now. And I will lose everything. No. Oh, thank you, Rona. I am not looking forward to that day that could happen, right? But this is something that I always have to, and I can't help answering back when this happens. When it's always the same, right? They always tell the same story, right? This is gonna happen to you one day. Folks, here's my attitude on the whole thing, right? Pardon me while I take a sip. You can't take it with you is the best way to say it. You cannot say, can you just throw the house on top of me and then throw the dirt on me? You can't take it with you anyway. You can't. And I don't pay a whole lot I don't spend any time at all thinking about such tragedies. You know, that's a what do they call that? Isn't that the stories when you watch your stories in the Philippines? What do they call them? Novellas? What are they calling them? Someone tell me in the chat. Isn't this where that tragedy happens and the affairs and all this stuff? This only happens in Hollywood, right? So I mean, I could appreciate if this happened to somebody. I do apologize, but think about this. Think about this for a minute. Do you think you're with the right person if you have to think about whether your significant other is going to kick you out of the house and take all your money and separate from you and apply Filipino law to the maximum so you end up with nothing? I mean, has it crossed a person's mind that if you're thinking like that, that your relationship probably isn't 100%? It probably isn't going to work out in the long run. Right? Is that not a telltale sign that something bad may happen in the future? Jojo, what do you think about that? Anime, I saw her laughing. I mean, for crying out loud, after a while hearing that stuff, it gets really, really boring, almost to the point where you got to say, don't trouble me with such nonsense. But it did happen recently to a very public person on YouTube. I don't know his name, I can't think of his name right off the bat. But his channel name is something like Retired in Paradise. And he married a very young lady who ended up deciding that she didn't want to be with him anymore. And he was in the process of building the house. It was like 95% built. And then all of a sudden, there's the knock on the door and there's paperwork. He's being served, and she's long gone by this time, right? I'm gonna go spend the weekend with mom and dad, and then she takes off, and then he's stuck with the paperwork, right? And they have a child together. You would not believe how devastating this was to this guy. It was so devastating. But did he end up losing the house? And the answer is, the short version of the story is no, he did not. Because once things played out, they had to go to settlement talks. And then when they couldn't agree, they ended up in front of a judge, and the judge said, no, it's not really fair. Mr. Foreigner came in here and he did the best he could. And he's entitled to the proper share of ownership of the home, which in this case, the court ruled that he was entitled to 60% ownership. So I don't know how he came to that conclusion. Maybe Mr. Man brought all his receipts and said, I was the guy who paid for everything. And so he gets 50% of the money back upon the sale of the home, which probably has already happened because he doesn't talk much about it. And so this is months and months and months and months of, took that about probably 6 or 8 months to play out. And so while she didn't end up kicking him out of the house, the court ended up forcing the sale of the home, if I have all the facts correct. And so I don't spend a bunch of time. Yes, of course it's going to happen, but I don't spend a whole bunch of time thinking about that, And the reason why is because of this. And I've said this before on this channel. I do believe I've said it before, and that is that helium is here. It's a partnership. It's a partnership. There. Need I say more? It's a partnership. And if you want to put a percentage of partnership on it, it's a 50-50 partnership, right? And so it's 50-50. That means, it's half my responsibility to make it go, and it's half your responsibility to make it go. And financially, it kind of works the same way, and that is that whether she's earning the money directly by working or not makes no difference whatsoever. It's that she is partnered with you in this relationship half and half. And so that's what makes it a 50-50 partnership. And so, or in this case, the judge saw through to give the foreigner the 60% and the Filipina 40%. I understand that she was a little bit miffed. But I wouldn't doubt I wouldn't doubt that if I knew all the details, he probably offered up 50% in the beginning, and most likely they had trouble coming to an agreement. Zaya's here. How you doing? Welcome in. Welcome in. Add as standard moderator. Done. All right. So I don't think about that stuff at all. Money. I don't think about that. I had said, and I'm true to my word, that once money leaves my hand, once it's out of my wallet, once it's out of my pocket, I never think about it again. So if I made a decision and I say, oh, I'm going to sponsor somebody's giveaway, and then I transfer the money, I never look back. I don't look back to monitor whether you actually held the giveaway. But I've discovered something very, very interesting about this. I am probably the smallest contributor to these giveaways. I realize, right? That I get, in comparison to other expats, I give just a fraction of the participation or sponsorship money that other very generous foreigners give. Mike Merritt is in the house from Canada. So anyway, let's put that aside. But it does make me laugh, but at times it frustrates me also, because I don't know if you've noticed it or not, but I'm more of an optimist. Most of the time I'm very optimistic. I look forward. I'm forward thinking, even though I'm 68. And so I'm having a good time in retirement, and I would imagine that Minnie is also having a great time in retirement too. Next subject, before we try and work this machine. Philippines expat on Facebook. And so these guys, I got to tell you, if you go into Philippines expats on Facebook, you're going to run into the most caring, loving folks that I have. They're genuine. And this is the thing. They're genuine, and they're always going to give you the best answer that they can for an expat who's seeking information. And so I think that this is a wonderful site. And if you want to go check it out, you can check it out, and you can see what I'm talking about. But I ran into somebody the other day on there, right, that I didn't know was a member. Jojo, how are you doing? Hanging in there? And that's Tim Desiak is in that. He's a member of that site also. I just joined. God Repairs is here. Shaney, Abby G, hanging in there with us. So if you want to know what expats think about the subjects, medical, property ownership, visa questions, relationship issues, all those things you can find out about by going to Philippines Expat on Facebook. Girly Senna is here. Cha Ram in the house. All right, let's move on. Oh, okay. Brownouts. Let's talk about brownouts. I only have a couple of more subjects to cover. South Texan Jerry is here. Brownouts. Here's what happened. So there was a scheduled brownout. We go out there to fire up the generator. It won't fire. So I play around with it. Now, I've had this happen before. And so I did what Mike did. Mike, hey, Joe, the last time he was here, he helped get it started the last time. I felt like I could do this, because I watched him do it. And so I started taking things apart, putting them back together, cleaning things. I find a feed line. That same feed line, Mike, had come loose. And I put it back on. I put another clamp on it, buttoned it back down, and nothing. So kept playing around with it. It didn't seem as though it was getting any kind of power whatsoever. But a friend pulled the spark plug, tested the spark plug, and the spark plug is getting juice to it. So that being said, we've been having a hell of a time the last couple of days trying to find somebody that knows something about generators to come over and repair it. But even though we got a lot of commitments, nobody ever shows up. So if you're in Bye City and you know somebody who can repair a generator, send them my way, because we need this generator fixed. Supposedly, we have a guy who's installed the generator, knows that generator because he's worked on it before, coming tomorrow. But we'll have to wait and see if he shows up. He's also a very, very busy guy in the construction trades. Mike says, I don't watch very many Western vloggers. Well, you probably should. Because they can be annoying at times, including me. All right, the next and final subject. Phil John is here. I apologize if I failed to shout you out. Discussing politics. I've talked about this also. You know, I have certain friends, right? They want to spend their retirement, their beautiful golden years, talking about tariffs and how it's ruining their lives, right? So I'm more of a guy to ignore all that stuff, right? I like to ignore it because I feel like I have very, very little control other than voting. You know, I probably have zero control over it, or I have all the control in the world. But from the Philippines, it's kind of difficult to chime in. I could chime in on a subject, right? And I suppose I could spend hours and hours learning about it. Then in the end, it just simply doesn't matter that much to me. I'm more of a centrist, I've determined. You know, I more take issues one by one. So, Hi, Rona. Oh my God, you're still here and you're still using Elvie's tagline. What the fudge? So let me tell you about the latest subject, and then we'll get going on the drawing. All right, that is it. As you know, President Marcos was in the United States meeting with President Trump. They came to a trade agreement, and the only thing I see on this thing is, it's not fair. He's an ally. Well, everybody is an ally. Germany's an ally. The UK is an ally. Thailand's an ally. By the way, we haven't cut a deal with Thailand, but it's looking pretty good for the deadline, which is August 1st. But the Philippines has cut a deal and signed off, right? And the deal is something like a 19% reciprocal tax, right? Which I felt was a pretty good deal. But there's something that no one is talking about, right? Everybody wants to talk about, they're letting the U.S. park their ships at Subic Bay, and they're using Clark Air Force Base, and they're training people in the north. They're training people in the south, and they should have gotten a better deal than that. Where's the allied discount? Well, everybody is saying the same thing. Everybody has pretty much said, we're an ally of the USA. We should be treated differently. But here's the thing that I haven't seen many people talk about, and I realize I'm opening a door here that I probably shouldn't be opening up, but I'm going to say it anyway, and that is that he came away with millions of dollars in economic aid. And I'm sure that that's making the Filipino news, but it's not making the news in the USA. I wonder why, I wonder why they're not talking about this part of it, where he sends them away, guaranteeing him millions of dollars in economic trade, millions of dollars, with promises of millions of dollars more in economic aid. So that's the one thing that everybody seems to ignore. The Philippines has to pay a reciprocal tariff, and then they walk away with tens of millions of dollars in economic aid. Do you get my point? My point is, he's a winner. he walks out of there a huge winner, the Philippines does. And so you could critique it if you wish. You could ignore the, the cash, the check that he left with. You could ignore it if you want. You could talk about the 19%. It's the same 19% that everybody else is signing off on, except President Marcos walked away with tens of millions of dollars and promises of tens of millions of more in economic aid. So there, and so spin it any way you want, right? But like I said, it's frustrating for me because all I'm thinking about are rainbows and unicorns and where my next travel destination is. That's all I think about because I'm on the going home side of the equation. This may happen to you. It may not happen to you in your lifetime, but I'm going to tell you, I could speak for me, only me. And that is what happened to me is when I reached a certain age, I put a lot of that stuff away, because I realized that I would have to blow all that stuff off. That was no longer my life. It was no longer going to be the focus of my life. That was a transition into retirement. See, the golden years. And so the golden years is all about, for us in the West anyway. I'm not sure if it works the same way here. I kind of doubt it. It's about relaxing, enjoyment of life, being stress-free, clearing your brain of all the nonsense, because you know that the world is still going to continue to turn. Tomorrow the sun will rise. It might not be in the same spot as it was this morning, according to the internet, but it will continue to rise and set. And so long as I have that, then I'm okay. And where are my travel guides? Because we're planning the next move. So, last thing about the house I want to talk to you about. So, Irene and Irish is in the house. See that transition? About the house. So, we're building this house, but it's not this house, like this house, right? It's not going to be like this house. It's going to be all metal, all steel, right? It's an all steel home. And it's the way that they started building homes here in the Philippines. A lot of people don't like it, right? A lot of people don't like it because they're married to a hollow block. They're married to a piece of concrete, right? And they've fallen in love with this. It's part of the culture. It's tradition. And so to build this house only takes a 3-man crew. That's all it takes. And it shouldn't take any longer than 3 months to build it. So so the numbers are right up my alley. If you pay attention to Dan, then you'll know that these numbers are right up our alley, right? And so that's three-member crew, right? 3 months to build, and I got two guys right now who are building the wrought iron supports. And so because we're doing it backwards, we're building those in advance, right? So we haven't started excavating or putting in. I have a whole bunch of tricks up my sleeve that's going to save a lot of time and money. For example, we'll be using a pre-manufactured septic tank. We'll be excavating it and then burying the tank, cementing it in, and in one day it'll be finished. One day. So Tox is here. Hi, Tox. Beautiful Tox is in the house. How are you, goddaughter? So anyway, things that we're doing, they haven't been done in this area like this before. And I ended up with a little bit of a pushback. People were pushing back a little bit. Why are you doing it this way? It's not going to survive a hurricane. Jorlinda's here. That sort of thing. How are you? So it hasn't been easy. And now we're just getting around that I hired a 2-man crew to start making the rebar. So the rebar support columns that we're going to need 15 of them. So I figured, well, that's going to take, a week, at least a week, in order to build those. So I'm going to get this crew started. And so when people started hearing about it, people started showing up, taking a look-see to see what I was doing. And then they started offering up their services saying, hey, we could build this house, my crew. And I said, no, we don't need a crew. It only takes 3 people to build this house. And they looked at the plans and they looked at me and they were like, they don't know anything about it. So when we start doing these videos, you might find it to be a little bit interesting, but I don't have to just sit idle while the plans are in the city. There's certain things that I could do. And so I could already build the wrought iron supports and the things and the footings that are going to be going in the ground. I could do all that in advance based on the plans. And then once the city approves the building of the house, once they come over, they do the land inspection, then everything is ready to go. And it's just bam, bam, bam. And by the way, this is the most expensive part of the whole project. So building the foundation support and the column supports. It's the most important, and it is the most expensive part, in terms of labor and assembling stirrups and where they need to go and that sort of thing. So, okay, so moving on. So it'll be interesting to watch those videos that we'll produce. Because it's not going to be anything. It won't be. It'll be like a couple of other vloggers. I can't think of their names right now, but there is a guy who did something very, very similar, and I can't think of where he's at right now. I wish I could. I watched him to get ideas for how I was going to build, our house. Anyway, it's just right next door. And by the way, we already have the internet in, and we already have the water supply line, and then the rest of it is just going to be a piece of cake. Having electricity next door, having our electricity right there to plug into, it works so well. What did I miss? Mike, I'm so sorry. What happened? I need a repeat. I was too busy talking. I didn't see what happened with Mike. My cousin in New Zealand built a container home that was destroyed by winds from cyclone last week. I wonder how many mile per hour. Well, this one, if you had like 200 mile per hour winds, this thing's going to blow away. But the good thing about it is it's easy to rebuild. That's the whole thing, and it's not going to be very, very expensive. That was the other benefit. So Melanie Calapayan is in the house. How are you? From Caradad. Hey, we're going to do this drawing thing right now because I got to get out of here. We have a really good friend who graduated. No one was hurt. They were in the Philippines for the typhoon. It followed them. Yeah, it's really weird. But we were on the alert. We were on the alert to get a piece of one of these typhoons coming through, and we got nothing. 2 days in a row. 2 days in a row, finally the sun has been shining. No rain. It stopped raining, and I don't know when it's going to hit us again. Member for 6 months. Thank you so much, Mel. We really appreciate it. All right. So now, here are the rules here. The numbers that we're going to be drawing today are between 1 and 42. Write that down. Jess is here. Between 1 and 42. Tox, it's so good to see you. I lurk, I lurk in your Jollibee videos, so I'm there. I'm always there in the BG. I'm there in the background all the time. So I'm keeping up. I may have missed a few, but I mean, if there's a Jolly Bee or a pizza video from Greenridge, which you can rest assured I'm there in the background watching you. So, and I know Jerry is too because I see him there. Jerry comments, unlike me. I don't comment very often. I'll comment way after the fact. John's YouTube channel, my young Gabriel Serdan. All right, 46 minutes into the live stream. So here's the thing. The numbers are between 1 and 42. And what I'll be doing is we're going to be shaking things up. I'm going to be spinning this around and pulling a number. You have a scooper right here. And this thing scoops up the number and then dumps it right here in this slot. This right here. Yeah. And then that's the number we're going to be using. So I have numbers from 1 to 42. And the way we're going to do it is I'm going to be putting start in the comment section of the chat. When you see start appear, then you guess a number between 1 and 42. And once I give you the stop command to stop guessing, then we're going to make this whirligig go. We're going to make this go, mix up these numbers, and have them pull out one. Then I'll pull it, I'll announce it, I'll show it to you. And the first person in the chat, it costs 200K New Zealand dollars. I don't think I'm spending 40,000 is the budget on this house. 40,000 American dollars, Mike. And you shouldn't need insurance on $40,000. You just build it again, right? So anyway, you self-insured. I don't think anybody would touch it anyway. It's a steel house. The thing's gonna blow away like a kite if it ever gets above 200 miles per hour. I guarantee it. It's just gonna blow away like a kite. Or the roof will. The roof will. It'll be a breakaway roof, So anyway, we'll see what happens. I mean, I'm taking a chance. We'll see what happens. Are we ready to go? You guys understand the rules. Now, if we have a winner, you guys are going to tell me who won based on the number poll. I'll say, okay, it's number whatever it is. And then you guys will look to see who is the first one to select that number. And then they'll be the winner. And if there are any disputes, we'll take care of disputes along the way. But I doubt it. There haven't been many disputes since I've been doing this. So it's a number between 1 and 42. Then if you're the winner, like Nicole, if you end up winning, then you have to sit down the next round. I think Pinky Gray won last week, right? Pinky Gray, Viana Cañas. Who else won? Who else won last week? I'm looking at my notes. Abby won. That's right. How could I forget that? It's Abby. Abby stopped by to pick up her paycheck. All right, so here we go. Let's go ahead and first select a number. And also, you only get one guess. So there's 31 million people in the house right now. I should only have 31 guesses. Remember that. So you don't guess multiple times and, different numbers and all that other stuff. You just have one guess and then sit down, relax, and then we'll pull the number out of this machine. Are you ready to start? When you see start, show up there in the chat, in the comment section. You may start guessing a number between 1 and 42. So let's go. I hope we get a winner on this first round. Up here are the numbers. People are guessing. It looks way better on my screen on the cell phone than it does on this big 30-inch monitor that I'm using. I don't know why that is. All right, now I'm warning you. I'm getting ready to put the stop guessing command in. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Did I forget to mention that what you're playing for is 333 pesos? That's 333 pesos, 3 chances to win tonight. Oh man, it's getting late. I got to get out of here. They're looking at me because we're we got to go. I'm sure they have lechon baboy coming. All right. I'm sure I'm going to eat pork. Okay, so here we go. I'm gonna mix these up. Oh, it dropped off a number here. And the winning number on this one is 8. It is 8. So let's see if we have a winner with number 8 for round 1. Round number 1, number 8. Do we have a winner? No winner. No winner. No winner. Okay, now we're trying this something new, right? So now number 8 is out of play. We're not going to put him back. So there's no chance of number 8 coming up again, Tox. All right? There's no chance of number 8 showing up again. So we don't have to worry about that. Mangay, a member for 12 months. We truly appreciate your support. All right. So now let's go do it again. Repeat. Repeat. When you see start in the chat next to our channel name, please start guessing a number between 1 and 42, but do not guess 8. If you guess 8, we're just all going to laugh at you. 8's out of play. Are you ready to go? When you see it, show up. You may start guessing as soon as you see that show up in the chat. Do 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 do. All right, we're getting ready to enter the stop command in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stop. Lorraine Pajares is in the house. Stop. All right. Stop guessing. We're ready to go. I hope this, what I fear is that it'll pull one of the balls out. Oh, that didn't sound very good, did it? It'll pull one of them out, and then it will drop on the floor. That's what I worry about, because I have to hold it in order for you to see this in the camera view. So I'll be working on this, and also where that little scooper comes into play. That thing has to be up here on top for a minute. Otherwise, it'll pick the ball up really fast and see. Okay, you ready to go? All right. Here we go. Oh, it happened. The ball went flying on the floor, but it's within reach. How did we know that was going to happen? Of course, because I just talked about it. I probably cranked the thing too much, right? I probably cranked it way too much. All right. But we're going with it nonetheless. I know, Ron, it's funny. Listen, it wouldn't be the Dan show unless we had this going on, right? But we have a great number, and the number is 23. It's number 23 for this round. Number 23. Do we have a winner at number 23? Let's see. Who's here that's saying hello? Bryce's. How are you, Bryce's? Uh-oh. Commercials. What? No winner again? Are you serious? My gosh. I need to take a swig of my beer. All right. We're going to go again. We're going to move it along. When you see start appear in the chat, start guessing a number between 1 and 42. But do not guess number 8 because it's out of play. And do not guess number 23. Ready? As soon as you see start appear in the chat. Here we go. One guess only. 35 people in the house. We should only have 35 guesses. Good luck to everyone. All right. I'm going to enter stop in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stop guessing. There you go. All right. Now we're going to pull a number. I think I'm keeping this on the ground. I think I'm keeping this on the desktop. So I think what I'll do is try and move the camera. If you see what kind of operation this is, you would just laugh. Look at all the junk that you could see in the camera view. I mean, I'm in a closet. Really, seriously, I'm in a closet. Okay, so here we go. What's the number going to be? Okay, pull the number. And that winning number is 39. 39. 39. I'm back. It's 39. Here you go. Do we have a winner? Number 39. Let's see. Congratulations. Helium. Helium is the winner. Oh, yeah, helium. So there's one more component to this contest. And that is that because of the new rules in the Philippines about the communications and the video and all that other stuff, you'll notice in the description of this live stream that there is a disclaimer in there, and it basically says I'm not allowed to share information without people's permission. And so, Helium, it's your responsibility to make sure I get your GCASH number so I could send you your winnings of pesos 333. So that means the only way you're going to get your money tonight is if you send me your GCASH number to my messenger. You know how to find me, right? All right. So if your money doesn't show up, it's because I don't have your number anywhere. I couldn't find it anywhere. So you're going to have to send it to me. And if you need to know how to get a hold of me, just ask somebody and they're going to tell you. They'll link you to me. All right. Round 2. I'm glad we have a winner after 3 tries. Round 2. A number between 1 and 42. And the numbers that are out of play, I'm having to write this down. Are you guys writing these numbers down? The numbers out of play so far are number 8, number 23, and number 39, the winning number. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to be choosing a number between 1 and 42, but you're not going to choose 8, 23, or 39 because they've already been chosen. All right, let's go. The next round. So when you see start appear in that chat box next to our channel name, you may start guessing a number between 1 and 42. Here we go. I hope we get a winner in round 2. I hope we do. I hope we do. Round number 2. I'm writing it down. I'm taking names. Okay. Looks like everybody's done guessing. I'm putting in the stop command in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stop guessing. All right. I don't play favorites. Well, yeah, I do. I lied about that. Let me move the camera over here. Yay. I don't know. You can't see anything anyway. You can't see anything anyway. What am I doing here? What am I doing? All right. Are you ready? Here we go. Oh, it dumped out a number. Oh, cool. Let me see what it is. Ah, you're going to love this. It's number 41. Number 41. Okay, number 41. Do we have a winner at number 41? You guys have to let me know. Mm. Mm. No winner. No winner. Yikes. All right, so we have to go again. And so far, number 8, number 23, number 39, and number 41, they are out of play. Okay, goddaughter, we don't have a winner. We're going to go again. Round 2. Round 2. When you see start appear in the chat, you may start guessing a number between 1 and 42. But again, don't choose 8, 23, 39, or 41 because they have already been chosen. Here we go. Let's get her done. I'm trying to give away some money here. I'm trying. Okay, it looks like all the guesses are in. We're going to stop in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The stop command is in. That's kind of fun. You know, I'm getting used to this. It's kind of fun. It's a little bit annoying, but you have to admit, the random money generator was not much better than this thing. Was it? All right, here we go. Let's go. Oh, it pulled a number. Let's see what we got. Oh, let's see what we got. My finger's stuck in here. I got it. All right, here we go. Oh, it's number 18. It's number 18. See it? 18. All right, number 18. Do we have a winner? Number 18. Let me refresh my phone here. Let me refresh my phone. Number 18. What? Rodell? Rodell is a winner? What? Congratulations, Rodell. You are the winner of pesos 333. On the way to you, some kind of way, once this chat is over. Okay? 333 with the number 18. All right, so let's go over it because we have one more. You're welcome. We got one more prize to give away. We got one more prize of 333. It looks like I'm looking out into space, right? So why is that? Because I have my camera set up. Anyway, all right. It is what it is. 40 million people in the house. The final round of 333. So I hope you've been writing these numbers down. Tox, have you been writing the numbers down? So far, 8, 23, 39, 41, and 18 are out of play. Helium won in round 1, and Rodell won in round 2. And now the final round is coming up. Round number 3 is coming up. Get ready to make your guess. When you see start appear in the chat, as soon as you see that start appear, you may start guessing. Go now. Woo! That went by fast. And I'm calling it. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stop. Jojo, pick number 40. Mandolin, did you get in under the wire? Talk's laughing. Okay, let's do it. I hope it doesn't end up on the floor. I don't want to have to go chasing it down there. Okay, here we go. Whoa. Okay, we got a number. We got a number. That's working out okay. That's working out okay, really. This ain't a professional operation. You know, we're not MSNBC or something. Okay. Number 27. Number 27 is what come out of there for round 3. Do we have a winner? Number 27. Mike. Sir Mike won? Oh my gosh, it has been a long time since Sir Mike has won. Congratulations. The Canadian wins. The Canadian wins. Pesos 333. Mike won. Congratulations. So I don't know. I could send that to you in Canadian dollars if you'd like, Mike. You can let me know. You can let me know what you want to do with the money. But here's the thing. You got to find me. You got to find me in the chat, in chat messenger. You got to find me in chat messenger and let me know where you want that money to go. All right? Okay. That's about a wrap. Minnie, Ma'am Minnie, are you here? Ma'am Minnie, are you here? Hello? Testing. Are you watching? Come in here. Say goodbye. Say hello and goodbye. All right, everybody. Oh, Mike says go ahead and give it to Crystals. Congratulations to both Mike and Crystals. Maybe Hop can now get artificial leg, chicken leg, to replace the one that, well, you know, that mysteriously disappeared. All right, everybody. It's been fun. Thanks so much for being here. It worked out okay. It just needs a little bit of fine tuning. We're going to see everybody in the next one. Bye-bye.